Chris Shandek, CYInterview, covering Las Vegas and the world. A new fiction thriller has hit the bookshelves this summer, with Las Vegas as the backdrop. The Kings of Vegas focus on the daughter of a casino magnate. We were fortunate to have the authors on this week on CYInterview. First, Mack is a former attorney and television producer, and Jennifer Kaufman is a former writer for the Los Angeles Times. The two have written some other books together prior to this one, but interesting enough, The Kings of Vegas is already in development to be a television series. Might it be coming to a streaming platform, cable network, or broadcast channel soon near you? We'll have to wait and see about that. Here's our conversation with Jennifer Kaufman and Mack. How are you both this morning?
We're great.
We're great. We're great.
I've just got to start by asking, before we get into the storyline itself, you guys have written some other books prior to this one. When did you know you wanted Las Vegas to be the setting of your latest title? Why don't you go ahead first, Karen?
Okay, so I grew up in Las Vegas, and I kept telling Jennifer all these great stories. Every now and then I would just throw in, oh, my next door neighbor was named Ice Pick Willie. And I went to school with Dave the Man Berman. I thought the man was a normal middle name, and I just would throw in these stories of growing up in Las Vegas. And through the years, we've done 4 novels. She kept saying, we've got to write about this. You've got to put this we'll put it in like a thriller or a fiction and just put all the authentic stories that you have growing up, put it in a book. So 4th book, we finally did it.
What did you think about hearing all those stories for years, Jennifer?
I was the same. I would keep nudging her and saying this would make a really good novel, and you could just change the names and change a little bit. It's a terrific story, and it's never been done in that way with someone unique that actually grew up in Las Vegas, and it would have been a completely different story. So that's why and also the family dynamic was so complex. It was so interesting the way families owned casinos. So that's why also.
Absolutely. So why don't we talk about this book has been featured in W Magazine and Parade as one of summer's best reads. I love seeing that people are doing the reading at the beaches and on vacation. I think that's phenomenal. This one absolutely adds to that group of books you can read. Why don't you first talk about, Karen, how you decided you were going to capture the vision of Las Vegas? Obviously you have a lot of history here with your family, but it's like, how did you know the kind of vision you wanted to portray on the pages of the book?
I think I loved the time before the corporations came in, when the casinos were owned by families, and the families would go from the bigger than life granddad to the father to the son. And it was a misogynist world, of course, but I just loved the idea of when the father died, where did the casino go to? And now, of course, most of the casinos are owned by corporations. But when my grandfather, he came here during Prohibition, his still in Los Angeles blew up, and he moved to Boulder Dam and opened a small mom and pop casino called the Jackpot. And then my dad was involved with casinos, and I was a casino kid. All the casino kids knew each other. There was a whole culture going on before the corporations came in. So the idea of succession set in a family casino with all the fun stuff that goes along with being in a casino, I just thought it would be a lot of fun. And I think one of our favorites is it's a hell of a ride. So I think it's a fun page turner kind of a book.
Jennifer, with all of your background in writing, what did you hope that this story portrayed?
I was really focused on the characters. I wanted it to be a story of a family in crisis, where each one had an issue with the casino. And so that was a big part of what I liked, because as a reporter, I did a lot of features on people and a lot of personalities. So that sort of was my thinking. Also, I loved writing about Josie, a very strong female character who pushed boundaries and was always saying, what was I thinking? And I love that kind of of a woman character. So the combination of that plus the where it took place was, people think of Las Vegas as this crazy city, but Vegas is in Nevada, and it's a fabulous landscape. It's very similar to where I used to live. So all of those things were what I was interested in.
Jennifer, you touch on the great outdoors here. There's so much beyond the resorts here in this town, so many things to do. You're absolutely right, and I thank you for mentioning that. Karen, I know we talked a little bit about it, but let's just talk about this. Your overall experiences, you talk about being a casino kid. I mean, how did you know, like, what I wanted to prioritize and focus on based on your 3 generations of family being here from Las Vegas?
Well, certainly I wanted to focus on the casino because the book is Succession set in a Las Vegas family casino. So I wanted to focus what goes on in a casino. I mean, as a kid, we grew up in the casino. We'd climb up to the eye in the sky, and you know what that is, obviously. And we would climb up in the rafters and look down and try to find the cheaters. And we would just in high school, our brunch from French class was at the casino with our special guests, the strippers from the Lido. It just, I remember my dad put in the first glass counting room. I remember going into the counting rooms when the money was flying like cottonwood and there were duffel bags on the floor. And I wanted to bring up the whole FBI thing. I remember picking up the phone and I hear a click on the phone and I knew they were tapping our phones, and I'd go, "You stupid," I was a teenager, "You stupid FBI, I know you're on the phone," and I'd hang up on them. But all those experiences, and also the danger, just the danger. You're living in a place that there's a lot of jeopardy. And there's mobsters. I remember one of my favorite sayings was, I always did the right thing. It wasn't always the legal thing, but it was the right thing. I remember a guy saying that. And of course, the Benny Binion line, I never killed any guy who didn't deserve it. And my favorite line that I used to hear growing up, you're either at the table or on the menu. So all that kind of mobster stuff is so rich. And, you live in a place where you try to have a normal childhood in a place that's not at all normal. So I just wanted to put all that. There's so much. I mean, there was so much more I could have put in.
Makes sense. Now, Jennifer, speaking of characters, do you think Las Vegas itself is almost another character in this story?
Oh, for sure. Mostly what Karen was saying with the casino life, but outside the casino, the natural environment is very much like, I used to live in Santa Fe, and it's very much like that with the mountains and the wildlife and all of the scenery. So, I was a big hiker when I lived in Santa Fe. So it's the same terrain, and it's a fabulous, dangerous, very wild terrain that sort of works with the casino life that Karen was talking about.
Yeah, the backdrop of the desert. As teenagers, we get in pickup trucks and race out in the desert, forget seatbelts. There'd be 4 of us in the back and 2 of us driving, and we'd race out there. And the desert was so much a part of our childhood. I remember my grandfather saying to me, he took me up on a hillside at one point, and he said, and it was all looked like empty desert to me. And he said, someday there will be cars here and churches and theaters, and it's just going to be filled with people. And I thought, oh, it's only desert. But these visionaries, I also wanted to put in someone who was a visionary who helped start this, saw the desert and created it and decided to make that city on the hill.
Well said. Karen, question for you. This book is already in development as a television series. As producers and writers, do you think the vision will stay to what the novel is, or do you think you're going to expand upon that?
We were lucky enough to have a bidding war with 6 studios bidding for this book. It is cinematic. And I think we're going to be executive producers on the series. So for me, try to stay true to the authentic Las Vegas, what it was like growing up here, and not some New Yorker's vision of what Las Vegas was like. And you know that, you live in the city. I mean, it's a real city with people that are not at all what someone from New Jersey thinks people in Las Vegas are like. So I wanted to do that authenticity, and I'm hoping we keep that in the series. And also casting, I would like, Josie is very important to us. So I would like to have a voice in casting. They've already asked us what we have in mind for after the book ends. Do we have any ideas for what happens next? Because I think through the whole book, what people are liking is you hit a chapter and you go, what happens next? It's been described by a lot of critics as a page turner. So we want to keep that energy going in the series.
Karen, let me ask you a follow-up on that. Any ideas for who you want Josie to be?
Oh, well, we have a list and they're pie in the sky. And no, I think I'd rather.
I don't think any of it's pie in the sky today. All these series, this is where all major actors are going today. I mean, the line between movies and TV series and Netflix and HBO Max and Hulu and Paramount Plus and Amazon Prime Video, there is no line anymore. People go back and forth from these things.
And it's the amount of money. Someone like Helen Mirren gets $1 million an episode, which you would have never seen on network television. So it is true. So I guess you're right. If people want to do something they see, and also, as you know, the series on Netflix and the streamers is like 6 or 8 episodes. They don't have to commit to 22 the way they used to in the old days. So it's easier to get someone who's a feature star.
I want to wrap up with one last question. Jennifer, let me just ask you, the book blends crime, family drama, romance, and suspense. Was it difficult balancing all of these elements?
No, actually,
Jennifer,
in the beginning,
sexy.
yeah. I mean, not in the beginning, because obviously, you know, Las Vegas, you can't write about Las Vegas without the sex. But no, it wasn't, because of Josie's character, who pushes boundaries. And as soon as we sort of glommed onto that concept, everything else followed, frankly. So, yeah, but it is a combination of genres, which is good and bad in a sense, because, you know, it's sort of everything, but we're hoping that it grabs a person's attention and they just keep going.
Yes, we're getting interviews from crime thriller book clubs and romance book clubs and family drama book clubs. So it's hopefully it'll be appeal to a wide range of people.
Karen, last question. What do you think of Las Vegas today? I think the changes in 9 years with the professional sports, the sphere, incredible. I know not the same kind of you grow up with, but what do you think of what this place has become?
You know, what would we have given to have a team in Las Vegas? I mean, all of us went to the UNLV basketball games, and to have major sports in Las Vegas is unbelievable. My family still lives there. They were the first ones to line up for the football team and the baseball team, and of course the Golden Knights. So it's a wonderful thing that brings the city together. I think everybody is so excited about all the teams, and the Vegas Knights, who won the first year they were here. Anyway, I think it's a wonderful thing that brings the city together, and I think it's fabulous.
I remember 20 plus years ago when Jerry Tarkanian was on his book tour, and I interviewed him at that time. That was my early journalism career.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, he was the first name, obviously, as you know, in this town, and the first major name in sports.
Yeah, it was incredible. The kind of energy and excitement, and trying to get a ticket to the UNLV basketball game and making the Final Four, little Las Vegas making the Final Four. And that was the kind of energy that we're seeing now, with people gathering together and so excited, and bumper stickers, and everybody's wearing the T-shirts. I think it's fabulous.
Karen,
Also,
Mack, go.
Sorry, I was just going to say that there's a bridge from the Wynn to the Sphere, which everybody talks about. So,
Oh, it's phenomenal. You can stand up there. It's the best view of the Spear. Absolutely. Right. We're going to close with this. Jennifer, hold the book up. Show everybody what the book looks like.
Here we go.
Move your fingers.
There it is. A great book for the summer. Read it. A fiction thriller. Karen Mack, Jennifer Kaufman, thank you so very much both for being on CY Interview today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. This was great.